We welcome everyone who has formed part of this workshop. It's an inaugural event, of course, that leads towards the main event that's going to be the 13th and 14th of December. So we are building towards that particular event, which I normally say when we start this, is different from what we have known over the years with regards to how the choral music or the choral fraternity, the platform itself generally, is structured. Some of the elements that we've, I think that we've unearthed here, or rather that we have brought up, is that it's laced, this platform is now laced with some sort of politics in a way. And we strive by all means to steer clear of all the politics that form part of the choral fraternity or the choral music. And it has to start somewhere, and we should have a vision, a particular, different vision, wherever we are going. Hence, the formation of this CANTARE DIO Choral Festival. You may think that it is similar to what we have known over the years, as I've mentioned, but it's different because it's all about community development. We are no longer just singing for the sake of singing and winning those prizes, whichever that put on the table, but we are on a mission. It's a covenant between us as CANTARE DIO, and the communities that we live in. Because whatever that we do, we have to make sure that we take back to the community, plow back, and make sure that whoever grows within your choir, your community, you see them growing differently as a child, and you nurture that child within the choir to become a better person tomorrow. Through our different charitable organizations. Hence why you being part of this organization as a choir, as a conductor, whoever you are here, your presence is quite significant. It plays a very crucial and critical role because we have lost the moral fiber. Now we have to bring it back. And where else and how else can we do that except through what people are used to? People know better and they are able to acclimatize or know better and how to move from that one point to the next. Hence we bring in front of you Tatu Ufumile Nomanyama as part of this organization. As our musical director, as our chief adjudicator, the advisor in that space. Here, having been in this space for such a long time, and whatever knowledge is going to share with us, especially, specifically for these particular competitions that are coming up on the 13th and 14th of December, these are the specifics that is going to define in clear and articulate terms. So we are going to give this space to him now to start. We just have to deal with the platinum, which we've just identified that we have platinum and gold only. So we're going to deal with the two songs. Okay. So, thank you. Over to you.
All right. Thank you. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm humbled by the gesture of being invited and brought into becoming part of this great initiative of taking music into a different level. But as Mr. Rafa has alluded to, we have to start somewhere. Starting somewhere, it means you and I have to come together, put our heads together in making sure that we craft a new, avenue in this, huge space in the choral fraternity. So I always say when I start that there are mantras that I work according to. There's one that I love the most. Can you see?
Yes.
Okay. Pardon me the writing. second one is these two. He who sings once, prays twice. We sing a song of praise. What does that mean? It means everything that we do, all right, we allow the Spirit of God to, guide us. We just opened now this session with a prayer. We were inviting, the celestial bodies to come and become part of us, of what we are going to do. So it means even when we do or conduct our rehearsals, it should start from there. That whatever that we do, it's all praises to the Almighty. And I like that, the music that has been chosen, for this competition. It's all, singing praises, to the Almighty. So there, we won't, go wrong. We'll never go wrong if we start that. So it goes with a discipline. I believe I'm talking to conductors and choristers as well. It goes with a discipline that we need to instill in our choristers. If we say we want to change, the status quo that is out there, we need to be, to be the orchestrators of this change that you want to see. All right. Mahatma Gandhi says, "Be the change you want to see in the world." So let us be the change that we want to see in the choral fraternity. By instilling a discipline. Just a few things that I want to touch base on that are, my principles, that I work according to in my choirs, in the choirs that I've worked with. Number one, let us do away with this thing of allowing choristers to come to our rehearsals drunk. There's a perception that, some, choristers, they say, I sing better when I've taken one or two. Let us face that out, good people. We are misleading, these young, and up and coming choristers. Alcohol and singing are not, don't match that, all right? Because alcohol has got this thing that confuses your vocal cords. This thing that when you are going to extract your tooth, the doctors about shabang, about jovana, anesthetic, yes. Alcohol has got that. It confuses your vocal cords. Right? And you feel, I feel my voice is warm now. They are confused. And the mistake that you do or you commit in that state, it will cost you, a year or two to recover from. Because remember, not everyone in our choirs has gone through, in music, to study music, to study the voice craft. So let us not, that is why we're not moving in this, craft, because we are allowing certain things to creep in and deter the progress in our choirs. Number one. Number two, discipline. Reggie mentioned it. According to time, I was also late. I came 30 minutes late. But starting like 2 hours late from the time we were scheduled to start, it's a no-no. Let us try to instill discipline in our rehearsals. Number three, as a conductor, what you do in your rehearsal, you are preparing a performance. I always say, if we are going to a competition, let's compete in the rehearsal. So that when we get to the competition venue, we don't compete, but we demonstrate. That's what I instill in my choristers. Let us compete here with rehearsal. So that when we get to the competition venue, we don't compete, but we demonstrate. Now it eases, the tension, the nerves from the choristers, because you give them that pressure. We are competing. We are competing. So when we get to the competition, they relax, and then you allow them to perform, because competition is all about bringing performance on stage. Now it starts with you, conductor, right? If, for instance, the music is, I'm not a pianist, but I'll try to play something. Let's say you're doing this. Let's stop there. What does that give you? What comes to mind? We are musicians. I said it's going to be an interactive session. What comes to mind?
Crazy.
Okay, phrasing, you are too deep now.
Praise.
Oh, praise. Oh, sorry, I thought you said phrasing. Oh, exactly. Exactly. This is a hymn, you know. So first thing, now, how do I approach a hymn? A hymn is a song that is associated with prayer, isn't it? So I need to humble myself, you know. So when you start that piece, already 50% of the work has been done already, because you come in with that approach to say, this is a prayer. So we cannot sing this as if we're singing Amatwaza. Now you cannot. Can I borrow you, Richard? I hope you'll be able to do this. You're going to bang the rhythm.
Okay.
Yeah, just bang the rhythm as I'm playing, and. Thank you. I don't know whether, Sissy, sorry, you're far. Is it because you are wearing glasses? Oh, no, okay. I thought maybe you are distracted by this. Okay, I thought that's what, you know, came to mind. You know, it's even destructive, this thing. You know, because it goes against this, what was it? So the things that we do, you know, in our rehearsals, they affect the performance. Because when I do this, I was saying earlier on, this is percussion, you know? So it gives a certain expectation, you know, and then the voice goes with this. Even, it doesn't matter, no pretty end, immediately you do this, you know, she's going to adhere, you know, the voice is going to want to align itself with this, all right? So, you might say, when I choir I cool, yes, they're not growing, and you are the one who is dragging their development and growth with the things that we do in rehearsals. So let's get rid of that. If the song does not have this, don't include it, right? Like as you are going to start now, we're not going to have this because the music that we are going to deal with, it doesn't require this percussion. Okay. And I just wanted to touch base on, you know, the things that you... Right, when you get into your rehearsal room, what's the first thing that you do? Conductors, what are the conductors here? 1, 2, 3, 4, okay. Yeah, conductors.
Warm up the voice.
Voices, warm up voices. Okay, where do we start? Which one is the most, you know, common vocal exercise? The scale, and then you put vowels, you know, to it, and then you escalate. All right, you go. And then you do obo. So on and so forth, right? You do those. Now, do you see development, improvement in terms of what, same exercise, obuyenze 2 months to date? Is there any improvement, or you get there, you start your rehearsal, you've been doing that for 2 months, same way, same level, you start from the same pitch, and then you end, you start from C, then you pela A flat, and then you start again, you do the same thing, right? Now moving on, right? You need to start with the breathing, because the breathing is the foundation of our singing, right? That's the most fundamental thing, you know, that we miss is the breathing. They must practice how to breathe properly, right? Teach them how to breathe properly so that the voice is sustained, you know, with the breathing. Because if you don't breathe, what happens is the constriction of the vocal cords, because there's no support, you know, there's no propeller that comes from the diaphragm to assist that. I'm not going to teach you breathing again, okay? You will go in and you delve into that. Number 2, the song. For instance, we're doing Achieve It is the Glorious Work. All right? This song, we know it's Haydn. All right? It comes from which work?
Mass.
Which mass? From?
Creation.
Okay, I'm testing, because earlier on I was saying, when you go to a workshop or a masterclass, we go in there empty and we go absorb and go implement, which is wrong. A workshop is there to empower you to add on to what you have, so that you can augment, your musicality, not to say you know nothing. So this is what I'm giving you. That's where we miss the point, because now you're going to want to do what Vumile, is comfortable with, and forget about what you have in your choir, which is what you need to master, and promote what you have in your choir. I always say, when I choose a song, I look at the quality of voices that I have, right? Before I can say, I'm taking this song, I'm going to do this song. Where in competitions where there's a variety, you don't need to go and go straight and do Verdi just because. I'll make an example with the choir, not other choirs. Lesotho chorus is doing Verdi, so you want to compete with the Lesotho chorus, and yet when the voices that you have don't match the voices the Lesotho chorus, you need to look into the music that you've been given, and then you look at the voices that you have, whether they will be able, to execute that music to perfection. Now, in competitions, where there's only one song that has been prescribed, you need to try and, level up with the expectations of the song. Hence, the music that is in front of you, it comes from, you said it's a mass. You said it's from the creation, all right? And Haydn comes from which era, Bonje?
The Baroque.
From?
The Baroque.
The Baroque era, okay? What are the expectations or the characteristics? I'm giving you an assignment. These things, you find them on Google. I cannot stand here and, be lecturing you on such, You go on Google, you look there, you read, oh, okay, these are the characteristics of, Baroque. These are the characteristics of classical music. One of the most fundamental characteristics of the Baroque is maintenance of meter. You don't change. We don't do the embellishments of, going in and out, do amarubato, and, we maintain. The year that other choir was doing in Sensa. That choir, had an advantage because they chose the tempo that was relevant to that, the era. Other choirs were, took leisure and dropped the tempo because they had heavier voices, but one choir strived, to work towards mastering, that character. So that is the thing that you need to do as a conductor. You need to look into that. Okay, this song comes from which era, and what are the fundamental things, characteristics that I want to adhere myself to. Number 3. Number 4. When you approach your music, you take the text, put it aside. Go to the melody. All right? For instance, this one. All right? That's a soprano. Right? Now you have yamba, the rhythm pattern. Damba, yamba, yabada, yamba. So we call that a syncopation within that music. That's what you want to hear. Those are the things that you focus on, when you conduct or when you teach your choir the music, so that it doesn't sound like you change the note values. All right. Instead of a half note, now you're making it to be a quarter note, say, or you're making it to sound like a full note. So, yeah, that's one other thing. All right. I'm not going to go into the dynamics of vivace, what those. I mean, they're there on Google. You focus, you look into those ones. So, diving into that, let's have soprano, alto, tenor, alto, soprano, okay, bass, baritone. Oh, what's the difference between a bass and a baritone? Baritone. Oh, okay, no basses.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Conductor, tenor, bass, soprano, everything. Baritone, okay? So we have all the four parts. We've got all the four parts, all right? Can we do... those two octaves. Bobby, are we there? And any syllable you want. Ma, a, la, da. 1, 2, 3, 4, A. Yeah, we're singing, all of us.
Yes.
Everyone. 1, 2, even you, cameraman. 1, 2, and. She's humming. Can we, let's vocalize. Sing anything. Don't hum. Na na na, la la la, da da da, ma ma ma, wa wa wa, or your name. Sing your name. Right, let's go 1, 2, and. Right, for the 6th time, and. Right, you see it's how many notes? Ba, 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 ba. 4 notes, right? How many times did I repeat? Before, some of us have not even captured that. How many times?
4 times, I think.
6 times already. Say one. That's how much patience you need to have as a conductor in making sure that they do the right thing. Because if you miss it at the beginning, you know, you are going to forget it. The more you rehearse the song, you know, you are going to, you know, kind of like be comfortable with the mistakes that you commit. So from the very beginning, make sure that they sing the right thing. Okay? For instance, here, are we all having achieved it? Conductors, it's written there. Suppliers. Pianist. Okay, that's the soprano name. Alto. Spin it up, soprano, tenor. And the bass. Right, let's go. I'm giving you a taste of what my rehearsal, you know, how I conduct my rehearsal. Okay, let's go. It's a new song. None of us know it. Okay, let's go. I've just played the soprano. Alto. Tenor. Bass. Choir, 1 and go. Aha, right, good. We did not vocalize, right? We did not vocalize, okay? But it doesn't mean it's not there, right? Okay. Is the most basic, but I was supposed to have started with your expectations from this session, but it's because I'm trying to rush now because I'm behind in time. Your expectations, what do you want to take out, you know, or take away from this session? I'm bombarding you with a lot of things. Now, the first thing that you do, you know, you cut, you know, from your rehearsals. People should know when they start to sing, it's either if they don't know the song, they go which is the most common, you know, vowel. All right, none should go affecting your vocal cords. You are doing what we call constriction. Once you constrict your voice, you know there's friction with vocal cords, and then you are going to have a voice you know, you don't know what contributed to that. It's that when you start to sing open up all the time. Okay, the placement of the voice it's you need a different session. How you place the sound, how you open up. But the way it's to ngayo, let's try now and strive for open up. All right, let's try again. 1, 1, 2, and all right, tenors. 1, 2, 3, 4, pa bass and 2, 3, wa Right, I'm getting two different timbres there. I go and all right, so that we have the same timbre. Right, let's try again. Basses. 1, 2, 3, 4. Much better. You want already say corner, because why? I corrected, and I've stated what we need to strive for. All right, let's go. Okay, one more time, and then let's go. 2, 1, and all right, let's have the tenors again. 1, 2, 3, maestro. Yeah, 10. Oh, yeah, bass. Oh, which is that? Oh, 10, tenor, tenor here. Who's the other tenor? Only one? Somewhere. Let's compete. I said we need to compete here in the rehearsal. Let's compete. Let's go. Tenors again. 1, 2, One more time. 2, 3, tenor. 1, 2, 3, and simple. Which shows up very tenors. All right, let's balance it up with the basses. 1, 2, 3, tenor bass. 1, 2, 3, 2, 8. That's the most basic thing that your choir can do. All right, to come with this sound as he produced here. I just wanted to show you how easy it is to to get them going. All right. Right, I see here because I'm not here. I'm not going to teach you the song note for note, good people. Yeah. This workshop is not about that. Skills, and I'm glad that you have okay. We have stuff that is tonic sulfur rather. All right, because. In running your rehearsal, in a bit, in order for you to be able to master a rhythm, okay, we've got what we call a minim, all right, a brief rather. This is minim, this is crotchet, and then this is quaver. Okay, now this is equal to. Okay, and then this is equal to, according to, this is equal to your, how do we do it? See, divider, gotcha, in one beat, all right? 2 quavers in one beat. Now, masizala, siti ta, which makes it 4 beats. So masses again will see, as masses, then it's gonna be ta, this one 2, ta, and then and then you've got your ta there, you've got your tate. Now we split that, and then it becomes tate. All right, ta, te. Okay. Now, this that you are accurate in terms of rhythm, your rhythms in dealing with the music. For instance, the soprano there, it is bam ba dam ba yabada bam ba. Some of the scores that we receive, I call clear, tonic solfa, right? But the staff notation is the one that is, is clear. So I use my half note or a quarter or ba ba ba. So we resort back to this, all right? So you go, if it's a 4/4 time, 1, 2, 3, 4, meaning there's 4 of these in every bar, okay? 4 of these in every bar. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. Now when you go down, uzela ufagela uthi. So it's going 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 1, 1 down. Okay. Now that bar equal bar 6. If you do bar 5, we're going to color on a quaver. All right. So that means it's a half note. So it should go. This is 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. On this, there's a quaver. All right. Meaning we borrow this. Remember here sitting tate. So we're going to go te. Te. So it's this simple. It's a bit divided and even go as deep as trying to come up with different rhythms so that we know how to separate and how to count that. This is the most simple thing to read. Is staff notation. Martina says sifuna urida itonic sound but this is the simplest that you can have. So as a conductor, you need to be empowered and know that when it's a quaver, for instance, on bar 6, there's the soprano there. It is ba yamba then yagada. Say now you've got 2 semi-quavers. We've got 2 semi-quavers here. There. Alright? Now semi-quaver, see divider. I'll just do 1 bar. There's the ta, fa, te, fe. Alright. Comma. Okay. So in order to make 1 of a crochet, you need 4 of the semi-quavers. Alright? So divided, 2 of the quavers make a crochet. So tate. So here 4 of these will make 1 crochet. That means we'll make 1 beat. Alright? So it will mean 3, 3 and ta 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 te ta te. Because we're counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Let's go and ta te ta te. All right. Now there in that beat in Teta Dayo, kukhona ikhathiwe these 2. All right. So it means soprano siqala siyayikhatha le. All right. So it's gonna be te ta. Actually, point. But siqala the half note. Te ta, then tepeta. If you follow what is written there. So te ta, tepeta. Very nice melody. No vota no tate no tepeta. Kwaya kucula nje into kungena uzomamela omnye angithi siyakopa. Uzomamela ikwaya yakho bacula njani? Teta, teta, tefeta. They're not, let's go, they're not singing the same song we're singing. But you know, you should make your rehearsal to be very enjoyable. Very, very enjoyable. But don't, at the back of their minds, they must know they are competing. All right? They are giving their best in order to take and their best to the performance. Okay? So you go along and with everything. Now, when it comes to the trio that is in between, in the middle, how do you select your voices for the trio? It's on page, just 27. How do you select your voices? I'm here to learn. Yeah? Teach me. How do you select your voices? You have a trio, all right? Soprano, mezzo, and tenor. Yeah. Oh, soprano, tenor, bass. Yeah. How do you select your voices? You take the loudest. On a voice good.
I think since in that trio, there are characters there, Gabriel, Uriel, and Raphael. So first you need to understand the characters that they are playing. So the voice type needs to be match the character.
I like it. Conductors will research. He's saying that with the background that he has researched, he knows, the music. He knows what is expected of him in this particular music. So with that mentality at the back of your mind, all right, Uriel, what does this voice require? It requires a certain voice, a certain type of voice in order to be able to depict the character. So you look for the voices from the sopranos, which voice would match the requirements. All right? I have nine soloists here. Last year. No, you have to, know what are the requirements of that body. And then at the end, you find balance and blending, because when they come together, they need to balance and blend, which is, one of the elements, of music. How many elements do you have? 7. Balance, blending, phrasing. Okay, another one? Diction. Yes. Another one? Okay. With tone, I always refer to it as a sound. Because we confuse sometimes tone with the sound. Maybe let me not go into detail. When it comes to that, but I always refer to it as the sound that the choir uses. Okay, another one, dynamics. Okay, so those are the things that you focus, you look into, because they are very important. If they are there, in your music, for instance, there's poco adagio in this the trio on number 27. All right, what does that mean? Okay, I'm not going to ask you to answer now, but you need to go into your, your interpretation or translation or characters and get to know what does that poco adagio mean, because the adjudicators will be looking, have you captured that poco adagio? Now, are the voices, capacitated enough to depict that poco adagio? Because it needs a voice that is going to be able to sustain. All right? So that's another important one. And then we go to, now we have the first chorus, and then the trio, and then the second chorus. Now, how do you differentiate the two? When did you receive the music? Sorry, I forgot to ask that. So magic today. Okay. When did you decide that you are going to participate in the competition? Conductors. When did you decide you are going to participate in the competition? Yesterday. Yesterday, or in October? 2 weeks back. All right, and you received the music, the titles of the songs.
Yes.
The titles of the songs, okay. And then you were like, I'm going to wait for them to send me the music. But you went and at least you listened to the recordings. At least, okay. Now, what is the difference between that chorus, the first chorus, and the second chorus? Okay, right. Let's go back to when we were writing letters. Let's go there. Let's finish off on the letter. And get him out. Introduction. And then Benani, the body. Ubenani, exactly. It's exactly that. So the first chorus is the introduction. And then we have the body, which is these ones that are expressing exactly what the context of this whole music is all about. Because it's up on thee each living soul awaits. From thee, O Lord, all seek the food. Because the chorus, it says, achievement is the glorious work of God. So the first chorus introduces this. What are they introducing? This on thee. All right? And then at the end, we conclude to say, it's like saying Amen. So in your approach, you must have that. All right? If you decide, say, what's the dynamic level there? You're not given. Okay? So you choose. Now, I would say, for instance, the opening, the beginning, the opening chorus should not be, it's an F, forte. All right? Forte. Now, your forte, the forte of my choir, might not be the same forte as your choir because the voices are not the same. So I need to choose a forte, a loud singing of my choir that would be different from a very loud singing, but not shouting. All right? There's a difference between loud singing and shouting. All right? We will push our choirs, especially in Senza Ifenek. Talk about it. Our choirs, we push them to shout and shout instead of singing loud. So the loudness, should be within the, the perimeters of the music. It should not be way too loud where, end up shouting. And you must know and gauge. If your song goes into FF, you must know your loud should be here so that your FF is here, but still within the walls of this room. They are shouting. You are not communicating the message now. All right? Okay. So that is very important. One other aspect I wanted to touch on from the prescription is at least because prescribed music, sacred music, if you like, oratorio, if you like, mass, if you like. So it disciplines us, unlike the opera. When we go to the opera, come characters now, the loudest voice is shukumisa, no. What are you saying? What are you saying? So this one, it disciplines you because we have to hear what you are saying. And I like the language that has been prescribed, English. No one is going to say, they won't hear what I'm saying because I'm singing Italian. I can form up words. English, you need to communicate, articulation, diction. You need to be very clean and clear, in your articulation and diction. Usisi, here, sorry, I didn't get your name. Demo City, let's try and sing that phrase that Bengi 3 times, 4 times, she had her mouth closed because she was shy, to sing. So those are the people you need to, coax into, bringing out the best, because it could be that she's housing a very beautiful voice, but akana courage of opening up. So you need to, give yourself time in opening up. So let's take the last chorus, 73. Same achievement. the last chorus, bar 73. Okay, that's your soprano. Okay, now I just want you to tell me the difference between the two things I'm going to play. All right, listen carefully. Same phrase or same line. That's the first one. The second one. What's the difference between the two?
Yeah, the first one, you played it correct because of this one is dotted quavers. And then the second one, you just played quaver straight, not the dotted quavers.
Okay. Starts from the first beat.
Second.
Second bit.
Second beat. So. Then?
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
Okay, see expeller. Okay? Right. The first, okay. Right. To tell you what's the difference. So that name one go. The second one, the first, okay. Right. Wait. Sorry. Okay. Okay. The first one. Sehr fun, it? Sehr fun, right? But listen carefully again. I'm playing. Right? Second one.
The second one is crotchet.
The second one? The first one?
Staccato, detached.
Dotted.
That would be the first one.
Yes.
My inch, yeah. Alright? But what is written is this one. So give that quaver a full value, its full value. Because this is different to this. This is a staccato, so that means you detach. Bum, 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 bum. And yet, this is ya, ya, na, 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 na. And if you can go to YouTube and listen, a lot of choirs are singing, which is not there. Those are the things that educators look for. They're hobbies again. I'm giving you clues. And then when we go off stage, after the results, this to chorus, choir number 2, this to chorus, no, the logi. And we was robbed, and yet you did not pay attention to such details. Okay, this, ne? It's not the same as. All right? So it's a half note. B, D, 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 da. If it's a full note, it's going to go. D, 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 da, D, 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 da. Okay. And again, even there, let's do full notes now. Let's do full notes. And then, what is the difference between this and that? Between this and that.
The first one is only just full notes. The second one is in a legato.
Maybe demonstrate.
Yes.
Maybe demonstrate.
So the first one is
Yeah.
la do di do la. Then the second one is ya.
Exactly. Say what I mean. So when you have phrase marks, that means you need to stretch your phrase and see. So this is the beginning. A phrase must have the beginning, the climax, and the end. All right, so that would be your different. I'm not saying it's there. All right, so those are the little things that you need to, pay attention to. First chorus, okay, on bar 13. Okay, kukho into ekuthiwa yi-fugue. Wala kanje? Wala nje i-fugue. Okay, let's see. Polyphonic entries. Polyphony. With a P.
PH.
Yes, with the P.
P, ne? Polyphonic entries. Polyphony. Does that ring a bell?
It's a mirror. The bass starts with this same words. Alto came, tenor came. So it's a mirror.
Right, thank you. You bear, it's a mirror. Whatever that the first part does, the rest of the parts follow. Okay? For instance, in that part 13, okay, the basses are singing the rhythm, right? It's bam, te, ta, ne? Te, ta, right? The tenors, then are the same thing on bar 14, te, ta. The alto, te, ta. The soprano, te, ta, and then it gets messy. All right? So we need to get a clear definition of the entries. Ta 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 te ta te ta te ta te ta te ta te ta. Then you can bring out, the other the confusion that is there. Right? That's what the polyphonic and then that's where the section of your music is divided into. You've got your A, which is bam ba 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 da da baby bi da da da. All right, that's your A, and then the bass starts in the B section. Okay, so we need to define that. Now, for me, you'll take that one, that bar 5 to your bar 12. All right, in a way to say this is an introduction, but within that introduction, there's development, and there's closure to it. Now I'm done with this section. I'm starting now a new section, all right, where we go now, and the playfulness, in the jovial, character in this, because remember, this is a song of praise, all right. We are praising the achievements, of what the creation of God, what God has done with this creation, all right. So we are in a happy mood. Don't come and sing with the dull, oh, by the way, conductors, I'm not sure about your choirs, but I don't think your choirs are doing this. I've seen in other competitions, choirs walking on stage with big pants. The big pants, big pants, up until the conductor walks in, and then Magafika, and then you are holding hands, they are holding hands, no, allow them freedom, allow them space to express themselves, right? These are performers, these are artists, give them that confidence. They don't need support, no, they must, know what it, before we are choristers, we are individual singers. So develop that, character in them of being an individual singer. So that even if a church, like Tafuna a soloist, as our leader, as our, singer, they can take care. Would I do this? I've been a confidence. But what? I've attained the skills from my conductor. He has given me that confidence. I can sing along. All right, that's where you're going to see development, in our music, in our choirs. So please, this thing you're discourage it. All right, discourage it. And again, another important aspect: much as in oratorios you are allowed to walk on stage or sing with a score, but please, because this is just this one, chorus, can they not bring scores on stage? Because this score takes away your confidence, because you are relying on the score that is in front of you. So that interaction between yourself and the audience, it's, you know, iyaphela. So I was the audience confidence, you know what, I know what I'm talking about. As I'm standing here, you know, I'm not talking, you know, looking down, you know, focusing here. You see this, no, I'm looking at you, you know, the eye contact. It gives you that thing of, okay, if I hear what you're saying, like I picked up, Sisi was a bit shy when we started. Those are the things that you need to, even in your audience, when you sing, you know, you need to capture. You need to capture the audience. So when I get as a conductor in a rehearsal, make your choristers to have that confidence in capturing you as the conductor. When you conduct, make them capture you. So that if the music needs a solemn character, they must, you know, suggest that to you. If it means they make you cry, cry. So that Bible would, oh, it's working. It's working. And then also develop, you know, from there, you know. These things are, it's like going to the gym. Feel it, you are doing it. Yes, and the automatically. We need, remember, when a conductor on stage, you'll be facing the audience. That's all we see. And then we see the choir, your choristers, the expression, you know, they are telling us. So plow it in them so that they can throw it to the audience. You know, we get excited, you know, about my conductor told me now he's taking the performance, performing choir. You know, and he wants to win the competition, not the choir. I think we need to have a category where we say the best conductor. You know? I'm not sure whether we can have a wooden mic conductor. Or maybe the best conductor and an entertainer. Yeah. You know, the two. Because competition just to derail a bit, a competition up, I saw somebody, you know, bringing a character, you know, of a conductor that we all know. And that person was like, you know, I want to show you. And I was like, yo. And there was another one, but I'm glad, in the early 2000s, this guy, you would swear that he sleeps with a video of this particular gentleman. You would swear with a video, you know, all the gestures, you know, but now at least he has moved away from that. We begin to see him, you know, not that other conductor. So let's try to, you know, move away from such practices, because we want to see Uvumile. We don't want to see Oreji, you know, in Uvumile's performance. We want to see Uvumile. So even your choristers, you know, some choristers are influenced or are motivated by listening to certain, you know, recordings. But encourage your choristers, you know, to bring out the best in them of who they are. That's the only way you can, you know, allow them or help them to develop who they are. Because if they try to, for instance, for some time, you know, tenors were trying to imitate Pavarotti.
Yes.
And they don't know the basics, the fundamental, you know, basics of Pavarotti as in order to get or achieve what he has managed to achieve. But Pavarotti singing Nessun and then tomorrow, you know, then he spent, you know, 5 years working on that technique. 5 years, I want to achieve it in a day. It's impossible, you know. So, you know, the basics are very important. As a conductor, for instance, it starts on the Bawan, I would say Bawan. The accompaniment there is bam 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 bam, right? Okay. Now, what do you do as a conductor? You are standing there. There's your pianist. There's the choir. What do you do? And you've chosen the tempo, right? You know the tempo that you're going to use. Okay? It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, right? Okay. Now, my advice is you choose that, and then you look at your pianist. Okay? Even if I've worked with pianists whom I met on stage, I've met on stage without rehearsing with them outside or, outside the stage. But the rapport, between myself and them was, intact. Why? Because I give them a clear signal with what I want. Okay, this is what I think you should do as a conductor. You choose the tempo first, and then already that upbeat, it gives him the idea of how fast or how slow your tempo is. All right? Okay, I'm going to choose a different one. So we don't need this thing. Hey, what's that? Huh?
Counting game tickets.
And you serious? And the pianist, so this is very important. You do this, conductor. You just need this gives how fast. So it means from this I'm going to do, right? A bit. Now I'm choosing a different one. A different one. Simple. Parallel. Okay. So as conductors, you must be very, selfish with gestures that you use in your choir. And it becomes very, very, very unfortunate when you are being adjudicated by a conductor, or let's say a music practitioner. We've got musicians and music practitioners. It becomes unfortunate, that when you are adjudicated by a music practitioner, because the things that you'll be doing, he will either be criticizing or be complimenting. So the gestures, for instance, you'll say on bar 65, the gesture that you showed was, unless it did not give, a response, or it was the choir responded opposite to what you were requesting. So be very, very conservative with the gestures. Don't just do gestures for the sake of doing, because once you do this, it means loud. And your choir, but your hands are here, okay, as a conductor. So you need to, I would rather, as Bella, your conducting should be here, And I like a conductor, very interested in what is he doing here? But I feel the reaction, the response of the choir. But I don't see, too big, gestures, and the bunch. And you feel crescendo coming, then comes back. Yeah, that conductor to me would be, if there will be any, the best conductor. I'm giving you ideas. You need scope. Okay. All right. Yes. Okay. Questions, guys? Yes, sir.
The question is that the thing is much just as it is. Sometimes we think that we find that our musical approach, and then as to when we go to the performance, our score sheets, they say something different from what, like with this actually the Highlands creation, apparently it was composed around the late 17th century, around 1790, which is in the classical era. So it's out of long after the Baroque, because Baroque ended in 1750. So now the question is, should in classical period the music should it really detach? Should it be bouncing throughout? Doesn't it have lines? So should it be robust? Because in the Baroque era, even the orchestra was too small and it didn't have percussions. But the classical era, the orchestra became a bit and with also the percussions. Yeah. So does that imply that the classical period, the music is more robust than the Baroque era?
Okay. Or should I take maybe each question and then respond to each question? Okay, let me attend to this one. There is no Today, we are in Baroque era. Now, we are in classical era. There was no such. Okay? So, some of the qualities or characteristics that were there in the Baroque era, spilled over to the classical era. They were carried, they were borrowed, because it was just, kind of like augmenting and improving, from the Baroque era, right? Now, the reason why I specifically started with the syncopation in the music, that's what determines, the character. Whether it should be detached or bouncy or robust. Now, you cannot perform this music because the nature of the notes, the manner in which the notes are clustered is in this fashion. You cannot go with it, achieved is the glory. You can't. Because the character of the song itself, it says ta. Achieve already. And even when you look at the pattern, of the notes, that's why I love staff notation, because it even suggests where does the music go. All right. For instance, the soprano, it goes dun dee. All right. Dun dee. It's not up down. It's down up. So it should be ta. Dun da yanda yagada yanda. So it has that upward motion. Upward motion. So be it that you characterize that as Baroque or classic, it's, to me, it does not make any sense. But musicality in the music is the one that we listen to as adjudicators. To say, yeah, this character that was brought in here, it was not like a funeral dirge. It had character in it. Achieved is the glorious work, which speaks to the context of the music itself, of the song. I don't know if you can do it. I wanted to say, when you prepare your music, don't prepare the music for the adjudicators. Prepare the music to the best of your ability, your understanding and the research that you have, put together. Because adjudicators, for me, they can go and sit there, without, not knowing the music that is in front of him. You'll be the one who will advise or suggest with this music, is supposed to be. I've been in competitions where that happens. Talk about the adjudicator, tell me if there's going to be 6 choirs as singing the same song. He's only going to pick up the music. Choir number 3. Oh yeah. And even the remarks are beginning now to be more, elaborative. Choir number 1, he was very minimal. So don't prepare your choir for adjudicators. Prepare your choir, to present nothing but the best. Thank you.
Always, it's only that, like you saying, you shouldn't prepare. But severely sad, because apparently in the Baroque period, the research says Baroque period, things didn't have much shape, but within the classical period didn't change, but it just brought a bit of shape into the music. So you find that, like you had said with the last section that we did, in the recordings we get bang, bang.
Yeah.
And then, also within...
Did that make sense though?
Yeah, it did.
The difference that
exactly.
I elaborate.
Exactly.
Okay.
So, which is what, when we listen, the achievement, it's all throughout, and yet with me I feel
why not? Why not?
So and then you get so we fear that because of a choir that comes and just scoping towards the song.
All right, I'm not sure on that ridge which adjudicators is going to bring, but I hope it's going to be adjudicators that are very music. Okay, adjudicators that are music practitioners. For instance, what you have just demonstrated now. Why not? Because you're bringing the beauty into this. You're saying, achieve it is the glorious work of God. Saying it on its own, it brings out the beauty and the appreciation. You are embracing the beauty of the works of God. So why not bring that? Because God has given you that creativity. to be able to, to bring that up. So you cannot do no, you might as well fake instruments. Keep the voices because there's no expression. Even though the violins are more, expressive, when they play. But other instruments, they just go bang, bang. Just timpani, for instance. There's no expression then. It's brought in. Bang, bang. So you can't treat your music in that fashion. Okay. Another one?
Ask it. Just the last two. The first one within the music itself. Like we spoke, will I be wrong to say the first achieved number 26? From that bar 13, that fugue. Will I be wrong to say the first one is just it's a straight fugue, then the other one is a double fugue, because in this one it's only a lofty straight and then everybody follows in lofty straight, and then the other one is glory to his name forever, his soul on high.
That's not a fugue.
So what is that?
That's not a fugue. You have a melody and a supportive, it's like ba bum 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 ba. If it was a fugue, that the same voice, the next voice should go now ba bum 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 ba. But now it's a call and a response. Ba yum ba dum ba ba yum bim bum bum ba. And the bass continues, in doing its own thing. And then the other part comes in, da da dee dee da 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 dee dun dun da da. Yeah.
Makes sense. But just one. When the music starts on in anacrusis, like this one starts on in anacrusis. So what happens? That first note, because of you are going towards the first beat when the music starts on in anacrusis.
Yeah.
So should it be tampa or tampa strong on the first beat? How do you approach that? Okay. That is where I don't understand the anacrusis, how it works in terms of each different music.
Okay. In your as well as our music, but one first beat, if it's your 4/4, but
Strong.
and then but nila,
What's weak?
but nila,
What's weak?
but nila.
What's weak?
Now let's put it to practice. Strong,
Weak. Weak. Weak.
strong,
Weak.
strong. That's what that says. Ne? Mnage, I say, strong, weak, medium, weak. Strong, weak, medium. Because you cannot have strong, strong, strong. Say one.
So the medium you prepare for the strong.
The weak, yeah, for the strong.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. All right. So your anacrusis might not even necessarily, but I would say medium on the anacrusis, right? Because you cannot say chi, chi, no, but should be tay, achieve, achieve. Achieve. So the emphasis would be on chi. Even now, you don't say it's chi. No, I've achieved. I've achieved. So I've achieved. So achieved is the glorious way. Yabona ngokuthina ovumile mabe compose this day as a consideration those things with language siyafaka nje sifaka u on the downbeat we don't consider those. So those guys were very smart, they had they were well capacitated when it comes to language, how they are going to use, the language in, being supported by the melody. You said second last. Your last question.
No, that was the last.
That was the last.
How is it important to know the piece before this, which is buyali? Then how are we getting to this to shape maybe how I see or understanding?
Yeah, it's very crucial that you know. Okay, let's go to your opera, for instance. When you do your opera, you need to know what precedes and what comes after the chorus. You know, so as to be relevant, you know, to it. With this one, now I would say not necessarily be, because this is a song on its own. You know, for instance, if the prescription you the trio from the trio, I would say you need to know what preceded, you know, before the trio, so that you are at least it comes with the idea with what you know came before. But this one, it's just a complete, you know, straightforward, you know, piece on its own. You know, it's not dependent on what preceded it. Yeah, but it's very. I mean, for your research, you can, you know, be, because you'll find out what the chorus before that particular song in terms of the character is totally different from what is needed, you know.
It comes after a bass solo, but what is this? It's not a bass. Is it not singing, but singing like speaking wise? What do we call it?
Recitativo.
Recitativo, yes. It comes after a recitativo, a bass, and then it's
Achieve it.
yes, achieve it.
Yeah.
Okay, makes sense.
Yeah. For instance, if you take what's this? Requiemness. You've got and then you've got Domine Jesu Christe. You don't need to know what came before it, you know, because the Domine Jesu Christe, this is the character that is needed, you know. You call lacrimosa, and then you go Sanctus, which to me it's different. You cannot go, when we say something is holy, you say it's holy. We go back to 10. Okay, yeah, another question?
Okay, let's say you're saying this is a baroque, no?
Yes.
Yeah. So
that's why I allowed you when you say it's baroque, because in terms of meter consistency.
So I wanted to know how important it is to take this era to the current one, like the performance of now, as music evolves, like the style, but still like it's a baroque. Yeah.
The response to that, he captured it. Uti, in the Baroque, the difference between the Baroque and the classical era was the number of instruments that were used were smaller, they were ensembles. But now when it came to the classical era, and then they were augmented, you know. Now, we're talking voices here, all right? The voices that were used then, you'll find out it was just for a chord, you know. There were like 4 or 12 voices, you know, double quartet or mixed double quartet, you know, now you're talking a choir, a well-established choir with 60 voices that are going to sing here. Now, you cannot reduce the sound to match the 12 voices there. So that's why again the response to your question comes in. With the voices that you have, and with the, you know, the manner in which our voices now sound, we sound different from the 80s. The choirs that were singing in the 80s, when you listen to it, you say, yay! You know, but now, even if we still have intonation problems, but at least, you know, choir and choir in a stage, you know, there's that blending and balance, you know, in the sound, you know, and the fineness in the music. That's how, you know, different it should sound. We cannot change it now and make it, unless you are going to cross over, and we as a hip hop achieve it in the glorious way. Then, but choral, we stick to the basics.
Oh,
you see, I told you.
This one, number 27, only each living soul.
All right, yeah.
It says Bonga Adagio, and then it says piano. it says CANTARE DIO. There are more singing, like more
Singing style, yeah.
Singing style.
Singing style.
So what I feel here, I think also is going to what was asking now. I feel within the trio, I've got a feeling of a homogeneous kind of singing, a homogeneous sound kind of singing. And yet, when I listen, a bit quiet that I almost listen to, as you can read the phrase itself, on the each living soul awaits, and then it says, Popo Adagio. So now the sound, and it feels zero vibrato and with more on the homogeneous sound. Will I be wrong to say that?
It depends how far you take that. For as long as, okay, now I would say, I would add a quality there, say, inespressivo. You know, that's all that we need there. Regardless of whether the sound is homogeneous or it's, you know, it has vibrato, but it shouldn't be too much vibrato into the tremolo, all right? Because you cannot just bring a dry and, you know, sound. It needs expression in that poco adagio. I said we need somebody who's got a tank of, or a wealth of breath to make sure that they depict this, or maybe execute it to perfection. That's all you need, because you need somebody who's a phraser, you know, perfectly. Da, da, it needs to feel like that. So you don't need somebody to do da, dee, 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 singing one note 12 times. No. Right? So the character that you were talking about, it needs, yes, but it needs still somebody with a wealth of breath, in making sure that the expression, that's all that is needed, you know, singing it in espressivo. You know, and then I've heard, like yourself, you've listened to a number of recordings. When they come in, they don't compliment. You know, they come in, hey, you know what? This is me. You know, so it needs to be, you know, complimentary to the what, you know, preceded. And then when they come together, they sing now as a unit. And live. No. When they come together and live with
when live face, oh no,
with vigor, fresh as it turns. And live with vigor, fresh. Yeah. That's the only one song. You need to go to the other one. When you conduct, give your choristers that impression that the music is easy to approach. The music is easy. Come back. The music is easy to approach. Because when you conduct, you go, for instance, it's you know, how do you expect them to approach and to execute it? You know, but if from you go, you make it light and, you know, bouncy, so they feel good. I can do this thing. It's simple, you know. So you coax that character in them. So your gestures, like I said earlier, your gestures determine how your choristers or your choir gives the output. So you need to be very, very conservative. Unnecessary gestures that are going to make their life difficult. Okay, let's move on. All right, now with that, it comes back to the polyphonic end. All right, so the first part, because the pattern is the same. Second part, Just different notes, but the pattern is the same. All right. So we need to hear the first part. We need to hear the second part. We need to hear the third part up until the last part, and then they come together. All right. So be mindful of that. Ingabi into ukuthi i-bass continue ba bam bam ba bam bam ba 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 bam bim ba bam bim ba ba bim ba. No, right? Instead, it must do the opposite so that we can hear the tenor, but we still feel it balance there, right? Balance, but not to oversee. All right. The right. I think. There's. All right. Now on page 11, there are no bars. On page 11. On page 11. There's that. On page 11. The last, I think, last bit of page 11, the last part, 1, 2, 3, the third part, page 11. Say one of this. In yeah, shoot it. How long do you sustain for? Sorry?
The value of the previous note.
The value of the previous note. No.
The value of the preceding note.
Preceding note, okay. Still no.
I think I want 8 seconds.
8 seconds. All right. 2, 4, 6, 7, 8. So you need to go on stage with a watch. No. Okay? There's no rule. No. There's no rule. There's no rule as to how many beats you're supposed to sustain. Others would say sustain it for a full bar. Wrong. You sustain it for as long as you would mark, where you've observed the fermata. All right? So if you feel your performance, you need to get into the next section. And you don't need to count. No, but just observe. Off. It still says you've observed. Okay? Or miyawuzafuna ukuthi because we are showbiz ukuthi mina choir yami already marks, but you know what, I can do what choir number 2 or choir B cannot do. Build a crescendo on the fermata. So you can, all right? But you cannot not observe it. You cannot go wrong, because now it means you only counted the 1 beat and then you moved on. All right. So at least 3 beats, but it's not a rule. Like I'm saying, you just observe to show what you've observed it, and then you move on. Okay, but sustain for 3 hours at the same time. All right. Yes,
so, when we are in, or are we lazy when we approach the fermata? We tend to sing the
all right. Yeah, it's a tendency that we all do. We think coming to a fermata, I'm coming to the end of a phrase. So it's a habit. That thing when I'm coming to the end of a phrase, I have to drag the tempo. The music is not about that. All right? If there's no sign or signal at all, you can do a rubato, stealing time, but not a habit. Approaching a fermata, we have to slow down. No, because it kills now the spirit, the character of the music. For instance, you cannot go no. Because you know the hype has to continue. Has to continue. We're going towards the climax. You know, towards the end of the song. Right. Okay. Any other question? I think this one is straightforward. If I had a choir, I was going to. Oh, the melisma. The melisma at the end. Now, how do you approach the melisma? How do you rehearse the melisma in your choir? Conductors. This is the rehearsal chart. Yeah, page 12. See rehearsal chart. Can I get? We are saying Basham manager. We are panicking. How do we rehearse? How do we rehearse the melisma? Let's take the soprano there. Anyone?
From my side,
yes.
So service elements of apparat, and I only start by doing the first the notes on the beats first, like so, re, mi, first,
okay.
yeah, now, so that they know that those are the key notes, whatever. Now mine
okay. Okay. Or now you are on the character of the melisma. Okay. How do you the basics, fundamental, things before you figure? You are playing smart, so that the adjudicator feels good. Oh, it was carried, like executed perfectly, meticulously so. That's where you are. But when you start, how do you do it? At the very beginning. Okay, let me give you. What you do, you divide your bars. For instance, in soprano, you've got 2 beats there. Ne? The first one is sol la ti do, and then the second one re mi fa re. Okay, so you go sol la ti do re mi fa re, sol la ti do re mi fa re, sol la ti do re mi fa re. Okay, so maybe 4 or 5 times by masterization. Because now when you omit, I was coming to that. Ne? When you omit these other notes, the underlying notes should still be there, so that banga flat, banga pumi off pitch. Because those are very important now. So that sol la ti do re mi fa re, then sol re mi. Maso hamba as the pace increases. But at the start of everything, you start slow, but take each bar. Yakatika, yadadida, yabadida, dedida, de. Right? And now when you sing that, because it's on instead, right? So it's usually right? So what you are saying now comes to play, comes in handy, because you don't need to sing every note. As if right? So basically, if you combine those two, then you are home free. You take your semi-quavers, and then you divide them, and then then you're home free. You need to pick up the pace, in the tempo rather, in order for them to brighten up and be relevant to the music. On the other hand, you have light voices, that are just, by nature, they are on the faster side of, singing. So you need to reduce the tempo a bit. So you play around, between those two. If your voices that you have are too, then you need to push a bit, so that to bring out the vivace in the music, so that they don't sound dull. But if you've got voices that are jovial, very bright, and you need to bring it a bit so that it does not get too presto. Okay. But because I think, even though even though I feel ukuthi I have robbed you because we push it in Russia, you know, mixing things. I had this. I was going to go according to this manual, you know, but because I had to squash things, you know, and put them in one pot, it became too messy. You know, apologies for that.
Really, we are gratified, we are thankful for his presence every time. Now, he said something when we had just a casual discussion. The casual discussion included such factors or aspects as you maybe to come to this kind of workshop and go back and apply what he said and really have that element of creativity. You come, you do something. You come, he does something on the basis of what you're going to perform or render on the stage on the day. But you have to now lace it with that creativity in you. He has given you a scope. You work on it, and now unearth yourself. That's your character. You characterize that particular piece on the basis of what you have gathered here. That's the discussion we had earlier, and it makes a whole lot of sense. It makes a whole lot of sense. This is not only for, I realize we have East Trend, which is a good thing. Because I think we have been our own downfall in the past years. We've had good choirs within our precinct, within our vicinity as Ekurhuleni. But we've never really managed to maintain that. For some particular elements that we have missed somehow, otherwise, we tend to miss those, and they are our direct downfall. And through this particular project, because I call it a project, I said when I brought him on the platform, this particular platform, it was mainly because he belongs in a project, not in a competitive platform. So, because we are now moving on into a different phase, that's a community development. Through this, you can see even the prescriptions give you a particular direction. We don't only talk about Oliver Tambo, you know, the songs that revere those characters, and many others pieces that we can see, but we are specific. If you can see the prescriptions that, and even those that will be prescribed by our music team in the future, this coming year, you'll see that they are within a particular parameter. They are within a particular boundary, because we have a direction that we take. It's a different trajectory that we are taking. I have said we have been in this, or rather on this platform, for so many years. But we have never really had that characterized end product that we say choral music has produced this. And therefore we are moving within our communities, wherever we stay. There's never been that. Hence the establishment of this particular organization that you will learn gradually, bit by bit. And I'm glad that you had to be here today, that you are today, you are here today. It means a lot, because you are the very foundation of our destination. Wherever we are going, you've been part of it, you know where we come from. Besides all the nitty-gritties and the whole lot of work that is being done behind closed curtains and doors, there is a monumental platform that you're building this up to. So I'm glad you are you're all part and parcel of all this that we are doing. And now that this workshop is going to culminate to the actual event or the festival on the 13th and 14th of December. The honors rests on your shoulders. the conductors, the choristers, and everyone that's going to be involved in your choirs, to take this from where it is and bring it to its appropriate level, the proper level. That's what we at least expect, because the standard at which we have put this must be maintained, and it's maintained through the quality that you produce in the choirs. And thank you, I cannot thank you any more than what I have, but your presence just here today means a lot. And I take that back to your legacy, you know. It's always an honor. In the past, I think someone might ask us a question as to why I brought this black medicine here. In your entire life, never ever make a mistake not to have this in front of you.
Yeah, I was down at the beginning.
So I think this is the session of our workshop. Once again, and thank you very much. We are honored. So
Maybe my final words would be that we haven't touched on the vernacular pieces. You know, with the vernac, I always say it's in us. You know, it's part of us. For instance, if I were to make an example, there's a song there composed by Mr. Mabe. Eti Phansi Ngobusela. All right? May his soul rest in peace. Chorus section by Eti. Sesigonga tela ndawonye simana siphatha siyeka lamadoda simbekolo sikhala sikhalile singda ithi alto hey suka ni madoda nimana siphatha siyeka lamadoda simbekolo sikhala sikhalile. You know that only, you know, yacho ukuthi you know, you have the experience of what he's talking about in that song. So don't just be a robot and you sing notes. No, we want to see the character. We want to see what it tell us the story. You know, it tell hayi madoda nyascriba hayi khona bem hayi sikhala sika. You know, so that you know, commotion we need to feel, you know, in your music. So when you approach African music, you know, it has to be not shouting, but bringing out, you know, the essence, you know, of the music that is embedded, you know, in that score. So a bit, I'm not worried that we haven't touched on it, because I know at least you can come with your creativity and be as, you know, as musical as possible. But make sure, for instance, in the score, I would do a portamento with alto. Hey, suka ni madoda, you know, kuparo one note. So it's in your creativity and in your research. Okay, ebefuna ukuthini apha? Konje unqobe usuka kwephi tribe. Limpondo. Amampondo mayethetha athetha kanje. You know, all those things. You know, I'm just giving you the idea of a song that is not prescribed.
Yeah.
So when with the music that is prescribed, go an extra mile and make sure you bring out. But the composer is amongst the songs that are there. Thank you.
And last but not least, let me also express my gratitude to the presence of the media, Mr. Sia Pungulu.
Yes, sir.
Once again, that you were in touch with us, you know, and after really realizing and learning of this new baby, you came forth and said, we'll be there from the beginning. Thank you very much.